Here to talk about that and more is Matt Schlapp of the American Conservative Union, also former political director for George W. Bush, and Democratic strategist Liz Smith. Good morning to you both. Liz, I want to start with you. These are serious claims John Podesta is making, saying that possibly the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. President Obama himself, when speaking to NPR, said he didn't believe that was the case. Is John Podesta taking it too far?
Look, I think some people in the Clinton camp are overreaching a little bit, and it's not to the bigger cause. I'm in the camp of Democrats who believe that two separate things can be true. One, that Russia did try to interfere to impact the election, and two, that they didn't actually impact the election, that Hillary Clinton lost because of a number of different factors. And making this all about, sour grapes or saying that it was the primary cause for her loss, I don't think helps us going forward and helps with the integrity of this investigation. I think we should go with the tone that is being set by people like John McCain, that we cannot treat this as a partisan issue, and that the Russians may have attacked Democrats this year, but next year it could be the Republicans.
Matt, is Donald Trump hearing that tone? John Podesta may be going too far, but is Donald Trump going far enough? Intelligence officials confirmed on Friday that the FBI is agreeing with the CIA and the assessment that Russia intended to disrupt the election. Now, on Friday, I interviewed Marsha Blackburn, vice chair of the transition group, and she didn't answer. I asked her 5 times if Donald Trump acknowledges that Russia tried to interfere. What do you think?
I think that what Donald Trump is trying to do is he's trying to start off, and he's not been sworn into office yet, it's important to say, but he wants to start off his administration with, an outreached hand towards an important country like Russia. It's a similar thing that Barack Obama did, not just with Russia, but with all types of countries around the globe when he started his presidency. That's a common thing for presidents to want to do. We don't know the tenor of the conversations that are happening at a state level, at a staff level, to people in Russia. But I think it's appropriate for him to start off that way. I also think it's plenty appropriate for people like you and for voters across this country, members of the media, to want answers to these very basic questions. This election came down to the tale of 2 sets of emails. Emails we never should have been reading because they were hacked, crime, and put front and center in the election, and a whole other set of emails, which we're failing to talk about, that Hillary Clinton defied the U.S. House and didn't share after they were subpoenaed, and those were these emails that she deleted on her private server. Both of those are a matter of big controversy in this election, and I think it's fine for voters to try to get the answers.
I understand your point, Matt, that Donald Trump wants to start his presidency even-handed, but he's sort of giving the benefit of the doubt to Russia, not to his own intelligence agencies, who one would argue he also should want to build ties with.
Well, let me try to answer that. I think the problem with what John Podesta is doing, and I have respect for John Podesta, the problem with what the Clinton campaign is doing, because it continues on this campaign.
But I'm not talking about the Clinton campaign. Hold on, Matt, just to clarify. I'm not talking about the Clinton campaign. I'm talking about the CIA and the FBI.
I know what you're talking about. What I'm saying is that it's now become impossible to de-link this election from this question about Russia's involvement in the election. And what voters see across this country is that the politics has swirled throughout this question. What I think should happen as Donald Trump is sworn in as president, as he survives this electors vote today, as the administration gets started, is I would like to see a bipartisan approach with the incoming CIA Director Mike Pompeo, who I know well and have great respect for, and for Congress as a bipartisan institution to ask all the appropriate questions and get the appropriate answers and stop these leaks and stop just this, briefing certain people. Tell the American people exactly what we know in a transparent fashion. When that can happen in a bipartisan way, I think the country can move beyond this, and I think President Trump will take the appropriate steps, and one of them is to secure our vulnerability when it comes to cyber terrorism.
Yeah, sure, but okay, can I just, when you talk about voters, there's a new poll out today from NBC showing that a majority of American voters believe this is an important issue that we need to look into. And it's a question going forward for Donald Trump and the Republican Party of what they're going to put first, their party or their country. And anyone who cares about the integrity of our elections should ask for a bipartisan investigation.
All right, Liz,
this.
but many people who did vote were voting because they were tired of the gridlock. They
Right.
wanted some level of bipartisan cooperation.
Right.
I want to share for a minute, Michelle Obama, who you know was an outspoken surrogate for Hillary Clinton, she made some news this weekend saying that she felt like we are now living in a hopeless time. Take a look.
Your husband's administration, everything, the election, was all about hope. Do you think that this administration achieved that?
Yes, I do, because we feel the difference now.
Yeah.
See, now we're feeling what not having hope feels like.
I actually think she made that statement not meaning it the way it came out. I really do, because I met with President Obama and Michelle Obama in the White House. My wife was there. She could not have been nicer. I honestly believe she meant that statement in a different way than it came out.
Okay, Liz, Matt, we really have almost no time left, but I had to get that in there. For me, I mean, for Michelle Obama, for the First Lady to say we're at a time of having no hope, isn't no hope a bit much? I mean, people in Haiti have hope. People in Aleppo have hope.
Yeah, and so I want to see the full interview, but this is what I'll say quickly, is that I think what she's speaking to is that among Democrats, among people who did not vote for Donald Trump, you are seeing a sense of hopelessness and a sense of despair. And look, I think it's time for people to start moving on and going forward. But that's how I interpreted it, and that's why you've seen, you know, a lot of people giving money to recounts and things like that. That was my interpretation.
Hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I think the country is going to get back on track, and for a lot of us, the country is going in the right direction starting on Inauguration Day.
Well, one way we're going to make that happen is if we all start to respect one another and work
That's
together.
right.
And we're hoping that happens sometime soon.